I have never touched this game before. I have seen it once when I was a kid. Funny enough, or well, legitimately, I thought it was a game about the Gecko going on adventures. And this was like, God, well over 20 years ago, maybe? I don't even know. But I haven't seen it since. But then recently, I mentioned to my group of friends, hey, do you guys have any games that you want me to look at for a video one day? And then without any hesitation at all, my friend just immediately gave me, you should play Gex. And I guess to make it a joke or meme, my other friends decided to tag in, hey, you should play Gex. Hey, you should play Gex. And I'm just thinking to myself, what the hell is Gex? And I looked it up and I was like, oh, it's this game. Amazing. But anyway, my friend recommended this to me, so that's why I'm reviewing it now. I was gonna do a video on Soul Nomad, but then he recommended this to me. So here we are. Welcome everyone. My name is Espion, and join me as today we are going to judge and review the game Gex, Enter the Gecko.
I know what you're thinking. It's tail time.
So right off the bat, you could tell that this game wasn't made for the sober individual. I've only played this game upon recording this segment for maybe about 2 hours, and I felt like that I was on an acid trip throughout the entire fucking 2 hours. So this is gonna be a fun game for me. Graphically, it's not bad for a PlayStation game when you have games like Final Fantasy VII looking like a polygonal mess, and most of the PlayStation games at the time, minus maybe a select few games, they were really just like pseudo 2D sprites on a pseudo 3D background. So in terms of graphics, I'd say it holds up. The premise of the game takes wait. This isn't the first Gex game?
That's a pretty up thing to say to me.
So, this game is the sequel to the original game Gex, which I will explain that story first, so we're both not confused, because I thought Enter the Gecko was the first game. So anyway. So the original Gex takes place in the point of view of Gex, the young anthropomorphic gecko who lives by himself, watching TV and eating snacks in his mansion in Maui, Hawaii, which he apparently inherited after his great uncle died. So, okay, my headcanon is that Gex killed his great uncle to claim the inheritance. Now that's all fine and dandy, that, you know, that happens, right? I guess. But the only thing that bothers me is like, why was he on his great uncle's will? Like, hello? Well, I mean, I'll never tell. Anyway, while looking for a good show to watch after doing so, I don't know what this is, nor do I want to know, but hey, this is what's coming off of the Wikipedia for the story of Gex, the original Gex, so don't yell at me. But after doing some nude funkercising, like, I'm not even kidding, it literally says that on the Wikipedia right here. But after that, he consumes a passing housefly. Well, it turns out that this housefly was actually a drone being controlled by the antagonist of the series, it seems. Rez, the overlord of the media dimension. Rez uses this drone to bug Gex. Ha! I get it. And pulls him into the media dimension through the TV set with the intention of turning Gex into the new mascot for the network. I gotta say, that's an interesting reason to be the villain of a story. You will make a great mascot for my networking. You will be the next one. But in order to escape, Gex needs to traverse the media dimension, find these remote controls, which we could use to destroy the TV sets, blockading his exit back to the outside world. Alright, and that's the story of the first Gex game. So let's go ahead and see what's different in Enter the Gecko and why they felt the need to make a sequel to this.
Since retiring from the public's eye, I had resigned myself to a life of solitude. For 2 years, I started my day watching Kung Fu theater. Days, then weeks blurred into one long, greasy telethon. The next thing I know, some government goons show up in my place. It seems they've caught a whiff of old Mr. Sunshine himself, Rez. He's back in the media dimension, and they think I'm crazy enough to go back in after him. So they whisked me away to Interrogation 101. They play rough. Start giving me the business. I give a little back. So we negotiate a little something to cover my expenses. They throw in one of those secret agent suits, and I tell them we got a deal. Looks like I'm headed back into the media dimension. It's gonna be deja ouch all over again. Coming through.
So that is the main story that we are dealing with here. Got that? Good, because I'm not going to repeat all that again. Now, upon reading more about this game, I found a nice little nugget of information that I thought was neat. Apparently, Gex was meant to be a mascot for a game company to compete with Nintendo and Sega at the time. So in an alternate universe, we would have been seeing a 3-way console war back in the day with Mario leading one army, Sonic leading another army, and then you have Gex leading a third army, and a 3-way war for gaming. That is very weird to think about. But enough of that. We looked at the game's backstory, we looked at the graphics and the plot. And if you haven't clicked away from this video yet, we're going to go ahead and move on to the gameplay section and see what's in store for us in Gex, Enter the Gecko. So playing this game, it does give you the vibe of playing Super Mario 64, but spice it up with some Conker's Bad Fur Day, as well as some Banjo-Kazooie, as well as some other games that are coming into the top of my head right now. A lot of the art aesthetics and all that really is reminiscent of Banjo-Kazooie and Conker's Bad Fur Day. So slap those together with Super Mario 64 and boom, that's the world of Gex, baby.
Tail time.
Now, since I am playing Acid Trip Simulator, it is a little difficult to understand what the fuck is going on in this game. But
So this is Never Never Land. You'd never guess it from the outside.
from what I can tell, you are in the mainframe. And you need to go into these TV shows and unlock the TVs within them by doing something in the world, whether that be beat the fuck out of some hunters.
File this under ouch.
Stomp some shrooms. Or fight some weird pig cow man. You will unlock these remotes, and when you have collected enough of them, the next area will be unlocked. That does seem to be the main premise of the game, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up maybe one gripe that I have with this game. As of recording this part, I don't believe I do have any other gripes beside it. But gripes, Christ. But let me make it clear, I'm not shitting on this game. I'm not shitting on it because this game suffers the same bullshit that games like Super Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie, and all those other games had. And that's shitty camera controls. If it weren't for the camera controls and the camera moving in the most awkward of places at the most unfortunate of times, I would have had this game done sooner, and I probably wouldn't have ripped some of my hair out while I was playing said game. Because it is very fun. It's a very fun game. And it's got hilarious jokes and jabs in the game as well. But really, that would be one of my only gripes of the game, really. But anyway, yeah, you continue grabbing these red remotes until eventually you unlock this blue door. And for what it looks like, this seems to be the final zone of the game. Now you might be wondering, you beat the zone and you go to the final boss, yeah?
That's a no.
No. Just like in Super Mario 64, which is oddly what the game is primarily mimicking, you have to collect majority of the red remotes that you probably missed because you got the amount needed to unlock the new area and left it at that. This is not me calling myself out for this fact. So when you do get the amount of red remotes that you need, you'll be able to enter this area, which is foreboding enough with the voice that plays when you enter it.
You finally met your match, young lizard.
And this is it. This is the final encounter of the game. Now, I thought the camera controls were going to be my only gripe with this game, but then I met Rez, and I met his boss fight, and holy shit, did it kill the mood for me in this game. Because while some parts were annoying, and yeah, it reminded me of Super Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie, Conker's Bad Freddy, and hell, even Earthworm Jim 3D, which in most aspects are positive. But this fight reminded me of why I hated this game, and that is the controls in general. The controls are so fucking wonky and hard to manage. I spent nearly half an hour on this boss fight because the controls are such ass. And it would have been longer if I hadn't been able to figure out how to set up a save state for my emulator. So the final boss fight, in my honest opinion, was kind of a letdown because of that. But hey, you can make him beat himself up in this fight, so that's fun.
Gex, it is me, your father.
Yeah, right. How can you be my father?
It's true. I didn't always look like this. I fell into a scrap heap while trying to get free cable.
And your point is?
No, don't do it. I'll do anything. I know Tarantino's Gardner's fiance. I could probably get you a meeting.
Okay then, Dad. How's about we forget all this and go play catch in the yard? Pardon my tongue, darling.
Come over here, you big stud.
And that is the conclusion of Gex Enter the Gecko. Let's move on to the end of the video and give this game our verdict. Alright, so this being the first game on my list that I've never played back in the day as a kid, I got a fresh look at it today. And while the gameplay did sour it for me, at least a little bit, I still had a very good time playing this game. And the shit that Gex would say were really funny to me. So this portion is going to be a quick set of sound bites that I thought were funny in the game, as well as some questionable ones near the end. Like, I did not hear these in the game, so hearing them as I was, getting the sound bites and everything was kind of shocking to me. Gex is a little questionable, I'm just gonna say. I'm just gonna say that right now.
If this weren't a video game, I'd be on my way to prison. Takes a licking and yeah, we've heard it. Buttery. Don't make me take my tongue out. Okay, I'll take a shower. You mean I'm not 99.9% clean? Are you after that old sandwich in my pocket? Is it just me, or am I engulfed in flames? Yes! Pepto-Bismol. Damn this pesky gravity to hell! Damn this pesky gravity. Prepare to abandon ship. If I were real, this would hurt. What a shame. I know your thoughts. I know all. I see all, but I could lose 5 pounds. Lady, the thing. Lady Flavin. Flavin with the thing. And the thing with the Flavin. Why, you? I'll murderize you. I'll give you such a pinch. Hey, forget about it. Say hello to the floor. My tail's gonna kick your butt. This is from Mr. Sinatra. Watch me use my tail to kick your butt. That's for 12 years of Full House. Oh, yeah, it's tail time. I'm on top of the world, Ma. Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape. Damn it, Jim. I'm a doctor, not a pincushion. Frido! Mental note. Get a tetanus? Now that's Italian. We're having a heat wave, a tropical heat wave. This is what Tim Burton thinks about when he's in the tub. You have the swan-like grace of a young Nixon. Hey, Don King! The Imperial fleet would never follow us into a floating furniture field. Wow, that's real scary, guys. A floating toilet. Let me guess, your parents don't understand you. Welcome to the land of the living. Now go home. Oh, great. The dream sequence from Brazil again. Last time I was here, I was dressed as a woman. I'm having Nam flashbacks, and I wasn't even there. I'm flaming! In the manly way.
What did he say?
And some still topical to this day.
Captain, they are a bizarre alien race that find Adam Sandler funny. What an asshole!
But with that being said, I feel like this game, or at least one of the games in the series, should get remade. Or at least remastered. So that way people can experience this old game again and not have to deal with the old clunky, shitty analog stick mechanics and controls that were around from back in the day. But regardless, I think this game should be remembered and preserved. Hell, Gex as a whole should be remembered. This motherfucker was almost a third competitor in the old video game wars. I'm not talking about the wars with Sony and Microsoft with their PlayStations and their Xboxes, and you got Nintendo over there in their own little world. No. I'm talking about the old console wars back in the day, where you'd be choosing the Sega Genesis or the SNES. Granted, I don't know what Gex would have been on, but you know what? He could have led a third army into this fucking war. Yeah, it's just a shame it didn't go that way, and it seems Gex was forgotten by the old fucks who do run those game companies. But regardless, Gex, you have not been forgotten by me, or my friend for that matter, and probably some people on the internet. So with that, and enjoy your spot in our archive. I had a blast playing your game until the very end, in which I will just say this: rest can go die in a hole.
Computer deactivated.
Radio Free Iraq, signing off.
How dare you!
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little venture of mine into Gex Enter the Gecko, and I hope this intrigued people to go check out this game for themselves, or hell, even other Gex titles. Leave a like if you liked the video, dislike it if you disliked it. Comment your thoughts if you have any, or if you have a game that you would like me to look at in the future. I'm always looking to expand my list. And also don't forget to subscribe for more. But I think after this game, I'm going to try to find a new one that is not stress-inducing or frustrating, or, you know, have terrible fucking controls for the camera or the game itself. Fuck me.